see where he's at. So right now, I'm feeling pretty good about him playing.
And obviously, there's been a lot of talk about his impact not being there. What can he bring you, and what changes when he's back at full strength?
Well, just his leadership. I think he uplifts guys around him. They feel better when he's out there. We should still win when he's not out there. He's been a great leader on the sidelines and doing those things. But, it's just something about him. He's got an aura. Everybody feeds off of it. So, obviously, smart player, physical player, and then he always finds a way to make that play. Ball finds him, and we've been missing that.
And another positive, Andrew Chatfield Jr., he's been turning heads too, hasn't he?
He's a good player. We thought so going in. He proved that. So, we got to find ways to move him around as well. Not always line him outside on certain down and distances. Give him an opportunity maybe on the guard instead of going against the tackle. We're going to look at all those things this week, find ways to get better.
Ryan, thanks for your time. All the best.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Ryan Dinwiddie, head coach of the Argos, who are off until next weekend in Montreal.
Yeah, big moment for the Argos. I mean, 1-4 is one thing, but you don't want it to slide the wrong way much further, right?
Well, and then you got back-to-back with Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, a win in Montreal would be huge.
Yeah, and they're vulnerable. They've lost 2 in a row, so maybe they can get them in a weak spot here. And with Chad Kelly, back looking healthier, if not quite healthy yet, maybe things will be pointing in the right direction for the Boatmen.
Well, I mean, they've found a way to get by without him before, but I think it's time he comes back.
Probably, yeah. and back to form. They need him to be most outstanding player candidate, Chad Kelly, not just another guy, right?
Yeah. Just looking around at something that we may have missed earlier, and I think we've pretty well covered everything. I want to go back to that minority interest in a pro sports franchise, a booming business that it now is. I don't know that anybody could have predicted the equity money would go there.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You hear a lot of buzz about that, right? And the idea that private equity is kind of infiltrating pro sports because the valuations are so high. There's not many individuals that have the cash in hand to afford these teams. So, and if you do have one, you've got the option of selling a piece of it to free up cash, right? To do whatever else you want to do. Buy a European soccer team, or go buy a NASCAR racing team, or whatever is your passion. But yeah, we saw it a little bit here with Larry Tannenbaum selling a piece of his stake to a pension fund a couple of years back that freed up cash for him. And obviously gave him a chance to reset the valuation of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, because there will come a day where, Larry Tannenbaum is likely going to be bought out of his minority stake in Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. And heck, that deal could be in the works as we speak. Who knows?
Yeah, it's just, when you go to the Lakers' $10 billion buyout, and suddenly that everybody it's like the house in the street that gets double what anybody thought.
Yeah.
Prices go up, and that is $10 billion. I mean, I think we all thought that when the Clippers sold for $2 billion, that was outrageous.
It felt like it. It just. And the thing with the Lakers is they don't even own their own arena. That's just the team. You don't get when they sold to Jerry Buss all those years ago for whatever it was, a relative pittance in the hundreds of millions. That came with the Lakers, the LA Kings, and the fabulous Forum.
Yeah, which isn't so fabulous, by the way.
I think they renovated it. I think they still have concerts there.
I remember doing a Leafs-Kings game there, and I walked in and went, wow, the outside's fabulous. It was like a movie set, right? You get inside and you go, where's the rest of it?
Right. Yeah, it was a bit underwhelming. I was there too in my many years ago, and it did have. Well, it was an old arena, right? It was it wasn't the vintage of Maple Leaf Gardens and Chicago Stadium, but it was they got a lot of use out of the place. Let's put it that way.
And that area, I guess, was somewhat remote, although I don't know that it could. I don't know if that's the right classification. Across the street was a racetrack, which is now the NFL home for the Chargers and who am I missing?
Exactly. The Rams.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, SoFi.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and that's where they built the new Clippers arena, right? The Inglewood area there. So yeah, it's all the valuations are crazy. The money being paid. You see, Devin Booker getting a $70 million AAV on an NBA deal, the highest ever. I mean, for a guy who, you think about that, Devin Booker is a guy who played on a team with Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal in Phoenix. They didn't even make the playoffs, and he's a $70 million player.
Well, but it's part of, I guess, the gravy train that the team's worth this much and it's going to generate this much, and if you don't have that guy at that figure, then the rest of it all falls apart. You can't have bargain basement players. You have to have high-end players to make it all work.
Oh, you're right. But the point being, yeah, you're right. There's guys who get the max who don't deserve the max.
Well, yeah.
And certainly don't deliver the max in terms of results on the floor.
And eventually they get moved.
Yeah, exactly. Although good luck moving that contract. I don't know. I guess everything's movable, but $70 million AAV might be tricky.
Well, this year.
Yes. Yes. Times change. You're right.
2 years down the road, not so tricky because it won't be it was the highest, SGA had the highest one for a week. And then Booker took over by $1 million per year.
Exactly. Yeah, it won't be long until, I think the Cooper Flags and the Victor Wembanyama's of the world, the guys who are just emerging as future stars, they'll be the triple-digit AAV guys, right?
Yeah. We'll continue on with more money. Best bets. That's next as Overdrive concludes on Mail It In Friday, live on YouTube, TSN 1050, TSN 2.